LE was the one that sort of set up, gave us program time, and we started having a convention slot actually for a business meeting and for papers. But the real growth, I think, the thing that really caused it to take off and become a national society was the work of Tom Bienendahl, who became sort of the executive. He was real excited about it. He had a chapter on his campus and really made an effort to reach out and make a connection with the National Association, and become affiliated, and then become eventually part of the National Association of Collegiate Honor Societies, and it became a real thing. And it was, telling these stories now, it reminds me of Machiavelli writing the Discorsi, as if, the Florentine Republic just sort of happened by accident, but then he got to tell the story afterwards and sort of try to make sense of it. And that's sort of what I feel like we're here trying to, there was a grand plan, you just weren't aware of it. But a lot of the stuff happened back then, and it's because it was a wonderful idea, and because we had good students, and it helped us to establish better relationships between the faculty and students, had better relationships, and provided recognition for our students. And it was long overdue. And I, come back to Florida's question: why didn't we already have a National Communication Honor Society? And now we do. So that's sort of what happened. But I think the fact that I just got to be around all these smart people that were doing everything. Lori came up with the idea, and I was her scribe, and we got written and approved, and I became the faculty advisor, and then talked to Raymond Rogers, and he decided it was a great idea to expand it to another campus. And Tom Bienendahl takes off, and I'm just sort of standing on the side, waving to everybody, photo bomb every time somebody gets a picture. And it worked out well, and I'm glad I got to be a part of it, and have known some wonderful people in the process. And it continues to thrive now, and that's because of the administrative support from the NCA that makes it happen, and all the good folks. Thank you very much.
I'm going to say a few things later, but I actually have a few questions before we get to Rebecca, because I remember talking back and forth with both of you, in a sense we were sort of recording this. Could you tell the story, or either of you, why the name Lambda Phi Eta, how that came about, and also I remember talking to you about, or both of you, about the design, the original design of the crest, or whatever you want to call it, and where that all came.
Go ahead.
Well, being a rhetorician, it was fairly easy to come up with three letters that represented a Greek letter organization, or at least three words, which would be logos and pathos and ethos. And it was almost a mistake. I asked one of my colleagues who professed to be trained in Greek what he thought about that, and he said, that's great. Calling it Lambda Pi Epsilon would be really good. I said, well, except it would be Lambda Pi Eta. So that's where our letters came from. The crest itself was actually designed. One of the early presidents, probably the third president of our local chapter, her husband was a draftsman and an engineer, and we came up with the idea. We took a portion of former University seal that had the front door to building our campus on Lane, but it looks generic enough to be any educational institution, and then did the scroll beneath it with was some concern, I think, from the NCA about whether or not we were going to get into trademark battle with the university, since they think they can trademark clouds in the sky. And so I talked to the university attorney. So that wasn't a problem. But it's a, I mean, it's a generic symbol that certainly includes the Alpha chapter, but will represent any institution in Ireland. And the name Keith Harris was the gentleman who actually did the drafting, and of course his wife, Jean Wigginshine, was, I believe, the third president of the chapter.
You want to add to that at all?
That's great. Can't make that any better.
I actually wasn't going to say all that much. Maybe you all had some questions after Rebecca's. But one of the things, I wanted to make sort of one larger point, and I'll sort of get to that at the end, but in preparation for some of the things that I was going to say here, I sort of dug up some of the things that I've actually kept through the ages. Back, I think, I don't know when the word started, but probably there was.
In the beginning was the word.
It's a monthly newsletter that the Department of Communication, University of Arkansas, put out, and I saved a few of them. And so the first one that I have is from October 1992. So the only thing here, it just, it talks about the UA chapter of Lambda Pi Eta National Honor Society for Communication Majors has reorganized and made plans for the academic year. One of the things that I sort of vaguely recollect, Steve was telling me during the late 80s and early 90s, he was off doing some visiting type of work, and I do think that my recollection, again, since we are rewriting history, is that at Arkansas maybe it was not as popular as it had been when Lori was there. And so I do remember sort of making an effort to reorganize it. And at that time, Steve had been the advisor, but it passed on to Dennis Bailey. And I worked with him, but it just talks about Jason Munsell, a senior from Talawa, Oklahoma, was elected president. Christy Moore, remember Christy, was vice president. David Giles, secretary. Courtney Hudson, treasurer. Matt MacArthur, scholarship officer. Matt's duty was notifying students about opportunities for scholarship awards. The officers began work for the 92-93 year by preparing the forms necessary to secure official recognition for the society as a student honor organization at the university. So I think we actually had to redo that.
Courtney Hudson's now in the state Supreme Court.
Is she really? Wow. And they also prepared forms to request the awarding of activity funds. And their next meeting is planned for November 10th and October 25th and 5th. They plan to gather at the home of their faculty advisor, Dennis Bailey, for a Sunday evening something. But there's a lot of really interesting things in here that I just sort of forgot. We also started having an awards ceremony, and we called it the Spring Awards Banquet. I don't know exactly what you called it, but we ended up having it at a park. I can't remember exactly what that park was called, but we were trying to raise money also to get folks to conferences and things like that. And so we had drawings for here it was Wilson Park. Lambda Pi Eta, the Communication Honor Society, will hold its awards picnic at Wilson Park on April 29th, 6 p.m. This is in 93 now. All departmental faculty and graduate students are invited to attend. The drawing will be held at the picnic for a $30 gift certificate to Coy's Place. Does that still exist? No, it doesn't exist anymore. For a donation of $1, your name will be entered in the drawing. For additional information, contact Dr. Bailey or Jason Winston. But one of the things that my experience at Arkansas, being a chapter president there, and then staying at Arkansas for my master's, and then going on and deciding I wanted to be an academic. I went on to LSU for my PhD. But once I sort of situated myself in a tenure track position at Columbia College in Columbia, South Carolina, we did not have a Land of Hiata chapter. And one of the first things that I wanted to do was to start a new chapter. And we are now the Sigma Gamma chapter. We've been there now since 2004. But it's sort of, one could make an argument, I suppose, that thanks part to Lori and to Steve, the experiences that I had at Arkansas helped me or persuaded me, encouraged me to try to create the same sort of experiences for my own students at Columbia College. Even though we're a very, very small college, I think right now we have one member with everybody graduated. But, you know, and I think we've been a pretty active organization at Columbia College, but it's sort of, you know, what goes around comes around. So my experiences at Arkansas sort of helped me create those types of experiences for my students. And I have several students now who are, you know, out, who were undergraduates with me, but now have their PhDs, and they're out there. And my hope is that if they end up at a position at a college that does not have a Land of Hiata chapter, then they'll start one. And so we will continue to grow. That's pretty much all I had to say. Rebecca, what would you like to add?
Sure. Rebecca Fox, and I'm at the Delta Beta chapter of Land of Hiata at Texas State University, and we actually have the founder of the Delta Beta chapter in our audience, Dr. Ann Burnett. And I'd like to tell a few stories about my time at the University of Arkansas that I think are symbolic of some of the values of LPH and kind of bring history into the present and wrap up with a few quotes. So I want to tell a few quick stories about some research that Dr. Smith and I did in Marshall, Arkansas, in Madison County. We drove all over that place. We were doing collecting oral histories, and I learned some of the basic kind of fundamental values about what Land of Hiata meant and what about being a scholar and being dedicated to argumentation and collecting that kind of oral history and what that would mean. And so a few things I learned along the way, how to present yourself when you're doing oral histories in the Ozark Hills. That takes some finesse if you want to get people to talk to you, so I learned some of those skills. How to present yourself, and specifically I remember one time we knocked on a door and we were trying to get information from people that didn't really want to talk to us necessarily about the story we wanted them to tell. And one person knocked on the door, instead of saying, "Get off